What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back to another Four Corners video for today's 14-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com. We're a day out from the 4th of July. Conveniently enough, I happen to be wearing red, white, and blue, so let's celebrate your independence right now by winning you a free month of Osmo Plus. All you have to do, like this video, comment your double dong pick down below, the guy you think is going to hit 2 home runs today. If you are correct, you'll win that free month of Osmo Plus. We did have a winner from yesterday's video as well, so I'll announce that a little bit later on in today's Four Corners video. But right now, let's get on to the top pitchers on today's slate, and Chris Sale going against Toronto should be the #1 owned option industry-wide. He gets 3.6 implied runs against him, and he'll be expected to be the #1 owned pitcher on DraftKings with 36%, on FanDuel with 25%, and on Yahoo with 40%. Sale's been elite with 13.1 Ks per nine and a 14.3% swing strike rate, but Toronto's projected lineup isn't perfect for him, with an under-league average 21.6% K rate and a .261 batting average that could be at least a little bit worrisome at Toronto's power-friendly home park. Sale has slate-breaking upside with a strikeout ability, and I think he's worth at least matching the field on in most sites, though I do get if you want to get some Toronto leverage bats in there because they do have enough power to make it tough on Chris Sale today. Walker Buehler versus Arizona should also be a popular option today with 3.1 implied runs against him, which are a slate low. Buehler will be the #2 owned guy everywhere with 22% on DraftKings, 15% on FanDuel, and 28% expected ownership on Yahoo. Buehler offers significantly less strikeout upside than Sale on paper with just 9.7 Ks per nine, but his .97 whip shows a superior ability to limit damage versus an Arizona team who has a projected lineup with a 72 WRC+. I'm generally going to prefer Sale to Buehler because that strikeout upside that Sale has can be a slate breaker. Buehler does look like he's in a good spot, and he actually could be a decent cash play compared to Sale, who has a little bit more risk to him. And Chris Archer versus the Cubs should also find some ownership today with 5 implied runs against him. Archer is going to be the #3 owned pitcher on DraftKings with 21% expected ownership, and on Yahoo with 23% expected ownership. Archer's strikeout stuff with 9.8 Ks per nine and his price are appealing, but a high Vegas total and a barely above league average 23.1% K rate for the Cubs and a positive hitting park don't seem like an ideal combination of factors. Even though the strikeout upside is there for Archer, he does make enough mistakes, does let enough guys get on base that he can always get himself into jams. I'm not crazy about him as chalk, and I would probably go into the field on his ownership on both those sites today. On to our next corner, the top stacks in the slate, and a Houston stack going against Peter Lambert will be the top one today. Houston gets 7.4 implied runs, which are a slate high, and Lambert's 11.7 hits per nine and the 6.3% home run rate he allows are not good by any stretch, and exponentially worse versus a solid Houston team in Coors. Lambert has been worse versus lefties with 1.8 whip compared to a 1.2 whip versus righties, but he doesn't walk guys, just gives up hits, which is problematic versus Houston, where Josh Reddick's 93 WRC+ versus right-hand pitching is the lowest in their projected lineup. Lambert's a guy who lets teams bat around on him often. I think it's a nice spot to go to Houston here. You can also stack the bottom of the order, who's going to be much less highly owned than the top guys in the Houston lineup. A Colorado stack versus Wade Miley will also be popular today with 6.7 implied runs for them. According to our top stacks tool at Osmo.com, Colorado's chances of being the top stack are just behind Houston's, despite Miley's ability to limit damage with a 1.17 whip and 30.8% fly ball rate. The spot versus left-hand pitching is always extremely appealing for Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado with a 298 and 365 ISOs respectively, but a full stack works too with the team's 275 batting average versus left-hand pitching, and Miley not able to strike guys out with just 7.5 Ks per nine. I'd be more interested in the Houston side because I think Lambert's much more inclined to give up big production to a full stack, but Miley does give up enough production as well that I think many stacks of Colorado are a wise move to go to today. And a Tampa Bay stack versus John Means should be popular today with 5.1 implied runs for them. Tampa Bay projects for top stack ownership on the slate due to their value pricing, despite the fact that John Means is down to a 1.1 whip and a 2.6% home run rate on the year. It doesn't seem like a great spot for Tampa Bay with Means mostly able to limit damage, but the reasonable pitching and guys like Austin Meadows, Tommy Pham, and Yandy Diaz, all over a 123 WRC+ versus left-hand pitching, makes them a bit appealing other than the high ownership. I personally wouldn't advocate to go against America's hero John Means on this week of all weeks. I think in this spot here with a lot of ownership on Tampa Bay, there's probably a lot of people who are going there, and the value pricing will help you afford some other bats and high-priced pitching. On to our next corner, the lower-owned options on today's slate, and an Atlanta stack versus Nick Pivetta is one of the teams that jumped out to me. Atlanta gets 5.9 implied runs, and Pivetta's been bad this year with a 5.6% home run rate and 10.8 hits per nine allowed, and in Atlanta's hitter-friendly park, it's a bad combination for him. The prices may be tough to pay in lineups with Coors hitters, but the 44% hard contact that Pivetta allows is valuable on a warm day, where Atlanta also generates a solid 42% hard contact rate as a team. Atlanta and Philly on the other side interest me here in a positive hitting park, a warm day, and a spot where it seems like both sides are going to be really under-owned. Tyler Alexander at the Chicago White Sox also interests me despite the 5.6 implied runs against him. Alexander racked up 10.7 Ks per nine in AAA, and he gets a White Sox projected lineup with a 117 ISO and a 69 WRC+ in his major league debut. The 1.55 whip Alexander allows in AAA is suboptimal for sure, but with Luis Garcia and Jose Abreu the only hitters players in the White Sox lineup over a 100 WRC plus, and only 3 guys under league average in strikeouts in that lineup as well. Could be a decent debut for Alexander at a low price. There's a cheap hitter projected for a decent amount of ownership on DraftKings, so I'll talk about in a second. I think Alexander's an interesting pivot to that guy, and he does have some strikeout upside, even though there is going to be some risk with that high whip that he's shown so far in the minors. An Angel stack versus Ariel Jurado interests me with 5.7 implied runs for them. Jurado tends not to be as bad as people think, but in a hot day at Texas versus an Angels team with an 18% K rate and a 118 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching, there's going to be some solid opportunity to go around for the Angels. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Justin Upton are the mini stack to want, with all 3 of those guys over 45.5% hard contact and a 146 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching. The lefties like Cole Calhoun can benefit from Jurado's 11.5 hits per 9 allowed to that side of the plate. The Angels are another team who may be tough to get to because their prices are right there with the Coors bats, but they are one that I think is worth having some exposure to because Jurado can give up some production today on a hot Texas day. And a Boston stack versus Jacob Waguespack, whose name I almost definitely did not pronounce correctly, also interests me with 5.9 implied runs for them. Waguespack, whose name I'm going to keep pronouncing in different ways until I get it correctly, projects for over 20% ownership on DraftKings after a 4-inning MLB debut where he had 15.8 Ks per 9 and a 2.7 xFIP, and today he's on this slate with a minimum price. Boston's projected lineups 278 batting average and 198 ISO offer a lot of opportunity versus a young, potentially high-owned, unproven pitcher who may have decent strikeout ability but is going into a really tough spot in a positive hitting park. If old Wagsy is going to be highly owned, I think it's a spot to go to Boston here. It's a really direct way to get leverage with a team who's extremely good in a positive hitting park. On to our last corner of the one-offs, and Shohei Ohtani going into Ariel Jurado is one that jumps out to me. Ohtani is priced up, but he has a 322 ISO and a 168 WRC plus versus a pitcher in Jurado that allows 45% hard contact, 11.5 hits per 9 to lefty bats. Ohtani's pricey today, but in a spot where Texas is going to be hot, and also Jurado gives up a lot of production to lefties. I think it's a strong spot to pay his price, especially if you are pivoting away from Coors. Michael Brantley versus Peter Lambert's also a Houston hitter who interests me in that Coors game. Brantley wasn't the best Houston hitter in yesterday's game, but the spot again should benefit a lefty hitter, with Lambert's 13.9 hits per 9 and 56% hard contact allowed, while Brantley has a 135 WRC plus and a low 8.5% K rate. I like the full Houston stack, but I think there's a chance that Brantley could offer you the production at lower ownership, especially with guys like Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve looking very chalky today. And Freddie Freeman versus Nick Pivetta is also a one-off who interests me. Pivetta's been worse versus lefties, the 1.4 whip and a 4.3% home run rate, while Freeman's high price should drive down ownership despite a 311 batting average and a 141 WRC plus versus righties. The weather and park factor should benefit Atlanta today going against a guy in Pivetta who's looked a bit lost this year. I think the spot's a strong one for Freddie Freeman as a one-off. So there we have it. Those are my thoughts on today's slate. So right now, if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus, like the video and comment your double dong pick down below. Yesterday, we had one guy who got it correctly, even though there were a bunch of guys who hit double dongs. A lot of them were pretty unexpected. This guy right here, Bobby Simmons, Simons got it correctly here with Jason Castro. It's a good job, Bobby. You went unconventional and you win for it. So email me at chris@osmo.com for your chance to collect that free month of Osmo Plus. And of course, if you want to win your own right now, like the video and comment your double dong pick down below. And of course, I will jump into the chat a little bit later today to talk with you guys. But as I mentioned earlier, it is Independence Day tomorrow. So if you want to be a true American, a true capitalist, a true patriot, use that promo code Switch and Hedge for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Get all the ownership projections, the rankings, the projections that you can just plug right into the Fantasy Cruncher, the deep dive column, the lineup builder tool, a million different things that'll help you make better MLB DFS lineups. So use that promo code Switch and Hedge right now for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'm here for you guys every day doing stuff, and of course, willing to take any questions or any thoughts you have on Twitter as well. I'll be back later today on Live Before Lock, so subscribe, hit that notification bell to know when we go live. But I will be off tomorrow for the 4th of July, so I wish you guys all a happy and healthy holiday, even though I'm sure it won't be healthy as you'll be stuffing your face full of food and alcohol like I will, because that's the way I want to celebrate my America. But I wish you guys a happy holiday, and I'll see you guys on Friday for another Four Corners video. Good luck.